and no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all, just stay specific enough. One son died, the spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. While we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it goes down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots, we on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up.
Oh, one day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, one day, oh, the glory, oh, the now the war is not over, and victory is won, and we will keep on fighting until the glory is won, and we'll cry glory, oh glory, woo, glory, yeah.
Sermons now for every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads, heroes, to become a hero. Facing the League of Justice, his power was the people. Enemy is lethal, a king became Rico. Saw the face of Jim Crow under a bald ego. The biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We say our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in the dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win a war individually. It takes the wisdom of the elders, young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory. The coming of the Lord, my eyes have seen the glory.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, one day, oh, the glory,
Ladies and gentlemen. Afro Blue, thank you. Glory. Wonderful job. Thank you.
Wow, now you know that was serious. That was no joke. So first I'm going to say welcome to On the Scene with Patricia McDougal, celebrity photographer, and
Denise Mitchum,
the co-host in the house. This is our first co-host. Second host is coming shortly. And guess who we got back? Popular by demand.
Chris.
Oh, I need to do that. Yeah, my name is Chris Woodkiaga, and I'm here on my friend Patricia McDougal's show again.
Yes, how about that? And guess what? We have another special guest in the house. Hello.
Absolutely. Thank you
Howard
for being here.
student.
My name is Virgil Parker. I'm the president of the Howard University Pre-Alumni Association.
Wow. You know, we got the biggest and the baddest up in here. So that little video clip, you want to elaborate a little bit about that very briefly?
Absolutely.
I know you know what that was about.
Absolutely. So Howard University had the opportunity to celebrate the 150th anniversary this past week, and we invited Common as our master of ceremonies. He did a duet with the Howard University, I believe the Jazz Ensemble, correct me if I'm wrong, and it was absolutely incredible.
And it was Afro Blue, right?
The name
Afro,
is
Afro Blue, correct.
Yeah,
Afro Blue. Excuse me.
Yeah, and that was awesome.
It surely was.
My goodness, so I had to play it. But anyway, we have some pictures, and we're going to show them very briefly before we have Chris, and then we're going to bring on another co-host because he's in the house. He has arrived, Cameron, right? But anyway, let's show some pictures. So, hey, how about that, Denise? You want to mention any names?
Omarosa.
I saw
in the
you
house.
saw up in there. I know you
Omarosa's
saw
in
some
the
folks
house.
up in there. Is that Carmen?
Carmen.
Surely is.
Now, that picture right there is a
Congressman
classic.
Coming.
Dr.
Yes.
Frederick.
Yeah, now that right there.
Nice.
Wait till I give him his picture on that one. I promise that one. And that's my girl Rahel, and that's the School of Social Work and the
Rael
dean.
Yes, it
from
is,
Rael
surely
is
is.
from
Give a big
Dean
shout
Harvey
out.
School of Business.
And the dean.
Ethiopia.
Yeah, she's from
Rael.
Ethiopia.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Rael's from Ethiopia.
And that was
That
a
dessert was fantastic. And
Wasn't that
that
good?
dessert was
Denise-
Chocolate bomb.
incredible.
Denise said she didn't get to eat hers.
Partake mine.
But anyway, that was Tank in the picture before that. And of
Provost
course,
Utah, the dean of
Yes.
the Howard University Graduate School.
yes. Well, he's
Oh,
actually
Mrs.
the
Marshall.
provost, right? Yeah. Well, that Denise can
Thurgood
tell
Marshall's
us?
wife,
Mhm.
Mrs. Surratt.
Now
She
look
was
who-
there as well.
Yes. And look what we have in the
Howard
house.
alums. Howard alums.
And that's my
Rael.
girl
Tank.
right there with Kaylin
Tank.
Tank. She was trying to get that you know how you say
Louis
selfie.
Perkins. Now, Mr. Perkins, we actually sat
Yes.
at his table. He's an alum of Howard, owning a
Yes,
food service
yes.
company. And this Mr. Howard and Renee Brooks Higginbotham, former trustee of Howard
Ambassador
University.
Dawson.
Give a and of course
Patricia.
that's me,
The host.
No.
the host. Of course, I wasn't
Looking
hosting that day. I was
fabulous.
having a wonderful time. Denise hooked me up with front row seats. That's all I'm gonna say. I was at number 25,
Yeah,
and I
we're at
mean
table number
25. It was
Up
up
in
in
the
the
front.
front.
Right at the
Yes.
front table.
I
head
said,
table.
Denise, is this our table? Are you sure this is our table? I had to pinch myself. I felt like a look. I said, I said, this is
VIP,
good. This is the
VIP.
best. That's the VIP if I haven't seen a VIP now, for real.
Oh,
And who's
George
that,
Holmes.
Denise?
Oh, Reverend Dr. George Holmes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, Denise is in the
Ah.
house.
Kasim
Dr.
Reed,
Boyd and
Dr.
Kasim.
Boyd.
Yeah.
See, I knew these
Trustees
guys.
of Howard
well, hey,
University.
that's me. Did you get a picture? That was really cool. You got to take a picture and then send it to you.
Yes, that was
And it was
Photo booth.
animated.
The photo booth.
Yeah,
Yes.
right outside. That was which was good.
Oh, that's Kayla. She's upside down, but it's all good. You know, it's all good. We'll flip her back. Is that you and you upside
It
down
surely
too?
is.
George.
Well, how
And
you
that's
gonna-
George's daughter.
Daughter.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
you're
Ashley
upside down.
Holmes.
Don't worry, you're
Why-
upside down again.
Why all these pictures like
Well,
that?
yeah.
All right, we're having a little technical difficulties. That's okay. That's okay. We have a new man on the block. He is manning the boot, and he's doing a wonderful job. A big shout out, right? Tell me your name. Kyle. Hey, Kyle's in the house. But anyway, we're going to show, what did you say? Convocation.
Convocation.
Let's go to
Yeah,
convocation.
convocation.
HU
Earlier thing.
convocation.
You
Because it
know.
was
You know.
awesome. You know.
know.
Yes,
HU.
let's show that one right there. So is that you,
Okay.
Denise?
That's me, a convocation.
She loves wearing her hats, boy. I
my
tell
hats,
you, look
uh,
at that. And they actually showed,
Howard.
that's the new logo, right?
It surely is.
That's the new logo
Just
for
released
Howard
on
University in
Thursday.
50 years now.
Mr.
When I
Mark
went,
Mason,
Yes.
Howard University
oh,
alum, Dr. Wayne Frederick.
yes. And he did a fun, a
He
surely
fabulous
did.
job.
So-
Yes.
and when I went to Howard, Cheeks was the president of Howard University at the time. That was a long time
Wow.
ago. Long
Wow.
time
Now
ago.
look at that.
So it's
Don't
just
they
like
just look
yesterday.
absolutely stunning up there?
That's
I tell
incredible.
Especially excited to share with you our new Centennial logo, one that I believe represents the mosaic that is Howard University. And if you will look
He's got a new system. system here, a new system in place. So we're gonna try to play that one again. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because that one right there is very, very important, right?
I agree.
That's
I agree.
Especially excited to share with you
logo.
our new sesquicentennial logo, one that I believe represents the mosaic that is Howard University. And if you will look on the stage as we lower the logo, you'll see the new logo.
Oh my goodness. Very nice.
The thing I appreciate about Howard University is that we have students like we just heard who recognize that the time is always now for us to take action, for us to step in. Mosaic.
Love it. Hey, we want to give a compliments to the new, how you say, the new logo. That's it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, you saw some of the pictures. We just showed a little highlight. So let's go very quickly to, if we can, to the HU Museum. I know you
Yes.
was in the house for that one. Now,
Surely
Denise,
was.
who's that?
Oh, wow.
Denise,
Oh,
elaborate.
Brenda, that was my roommate when I was a student at Howard 40
Yeah.
years ago.
How many?
40.
40 years ago. She's telling her age.
feels like
That's
right?
okay.
Tell us
Todd
who
Taylor.
these two
That's
guys.
okay.
I know you know them.
That's
Todd.
Todd Taylor.
Oh, now that's me. Can you tell I was
Ooh,
having
Governor
a good
Wilder.
time?
Yes.
Yeah,
Governor
Douglas
Wilder.
Wilder, Governor Howard alum,
Yes.
Governor of Virginia.
Yes.
Actually.
First black governor since the
First black
Renaissance.
He was the first, and you know my two
Absolutely.
favorites
Ron
right
Busby.
there.
Okay, I didn't know he was in the house last night.
Busby.
What?
I did
No.
not know he was in the house.
Who was in the house? Are you kidding me? Ron's
Ron
always in the house. He just
Busby.
sneaks up and comes around.
surely
You know what I'm
does.
saying? And these guys right here, they did a fabulous job. They were actually entertaining. We're gonna get you. to
Oh, that's
go out
Chief.
there. That's the chief. Yeah.
Chief.
You know when I take
Oh,
pictures, I
University.
take the pictures big time. You know what I'm saying? Did you see the chief up in the house?
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you get that picture. And these are some beautiful, lovely
Yes,
ladies. And
Howard
this
women.
is the dean
Actually-
of communications.
Mhm.
And of course, this is a
President, the
beautiful,
First
Wife.
family of Howard.
the first family.
Oh,
That's right.
Mr. and Mrs.
Congratulations,
Frederick.
doing a fabulous job.
Mm.
And I know you know these guys right here. Well, I ain't gonna mention names because I'll mess it up. But anyway, that's the time is always now.
Surely is.
Denise, who's
Surely
this?
is.
Oh, Lewis Perkins and Renee and myself and her girlfriend, we were all there at the museum.
Wolf
And
Blitzer.
This was Wolf Blitzer.
Mhm.
And then it was
Yes.
Vernon Jordan and then Governor Wilder speaking on a panel on the journey towards freedom at Howard.
Yes.
That's
It
right.
was at the
Right.
Oprah Winfrey
Yeah.
Theater, and it's Renee, and that's Miss Baskerville. She runs the
Is that
historically
you?
black
Yes, it is.
colleges
That's
and
Ken Wells.
universities.
Ken, with you and
He is
Ken.
the director of the only executive MBA program amongst historically black colleges.
He is
Yes.
what? He is
Yes.
awesome. I just love him. We go way, way back. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, enough of us. We just wanted to show some fun stuff because I just was loving myself for a minute, just being in the house and having my HU family up in here. And Chris is in the middle. Don't worry, Chris. We're gonna bring you up there to do some things as well.
Good.
So let's go on to Chris. Let's talk a little bit about Chris and who he is and
your
move
new
right along
project.
because yes. Tell us a little bit and then we're gonna play a video of Chris. How about that?
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter. I was born and raised in the D.C. area, and I'm of Latin American heritage. My family's from Brazil
For
and
me and
Peru.
Pat.
Yeah.
Tino's in the house.
No, Denise loves her Brazilian music.
Yeah, she
my
And she
does.
came for the perfect date at Strathmore. I did a
Absolutely.
Brazilian music set when she came.
I was there in the house too.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
And
You
I
two were
couldn't
there.
take pictures, but I was in the house.
Yeah, and Pat
Right.
and I are Latino also.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Tell that to
Represent.
my daughter, right?
There's a connection.
I'm a Belizean, okay?
Oh, okay,
Costa
nice.
Rican.
That's what's up.
Yes.
No, and I just wrapped up my residency month in January. I was the featured artist at Strathmore Music Center, and all of my shows at Strathmore were sold out. And I also gave a workshop to the community on Latin pop music.
Wow.
Wow.
He is too much.
That
Now,
is
I asked you to
remarkable.
sing without anything, but I'm not going to do that to you.
Oh, I don't mind.
You know, can you just hit a tune or something? Yeah, let's hear a little tune without your tune, then we're going to play. Can you do that?
All right.
Yeah,
a
go
little
ahead.
tune?
Yeah.
Oh, what, you want like a cover
Ala-
song?
Yeah,
Original?
Alapalpa.
Cover song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cover
that would be
song.
good.
A cover song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I'll do a little bit of Bruno Mars,
Oh,
When I Was Your
my.
Man.
Mm.
Although it hurts, I'll be the first to say that I was wrong. Oh, probably much too late to try and apologize for my mistakes. But I just want you to know, I hope he buys you flowers. I hope he holds your hand, gives you all his hours when he has the chance. Take you to every party, 'cause I remember how much you loved to dance. Do all the things I should have done when I was your man. Do all the things I should have done when I was your man.
Wow,
No,
did
that's
you
not
hear?
talent. I've never
You
heard
know
it
what I'm
before.
saying? Did you get that, Denise? What? So let's play his video if we can, you know.
That was remarkable.
Yes, thank you so much. Tell them where to
problem.
find you first before we do that.
You can find me on Facebook under J. Chris Music, JCHRIS Music, or under my name, Chris Urquiaga. That my last name, I know it's complicated, but it's URQUIAGA, Chris Urquiaga.
So
And
where's-
Chris is also signed by
Akon, as of
Akon,
recently.
the artist. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Signed to
yes.
Akon.
Well, he's gonna come back because he said he's gonna play for us live in the studio. So
For sure.
he's
Yes.
welcome. If he, whenever you can come back, maybe next week, we'd
Yeah,
love to have
for
you
sure.
back
Yeah.
again. Yes. And
good.
tell us, where can they find you? What are you doing? You're doing fabulous things too.
Myself, well, right here across the street from Howard University. I mean, anything from public speaking to innovating to community service, right across the street.
Wow, that's awesome. So you have a Facebook page or something? Maybe they,
certainly do.
you know, where they can give. I mean, you know, hey, you might as well use the platform.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
He's an
So you can
alum,
look-
right?
Look
no,
me
he's
up by
a
Virgil
Oh, he's
Parker.
a student too.
Yep,
Yeah.
sophomore.
Oh,
Sophomore.
wow. Wow.
Patricia.
That's all
young.
right. He's powerful. Let me tell you.
Oh,
He's everywhere. Everywhere I go, he's
Try to
always
be.
there.
I try to be. Try to be looking up by my name, Virgil Parker, VIRGIL Parker, PARKER.
Where you from, Virgil? Tell us where
You're
you're
Rochester, New York.
Oh, he's
Rochester.
a New
I
Yorker.
went to Eastman
Love
School of
it.
Music in Rochester, so
And
I'm a Rochesterian at heart, even though I
And-
wasn't born there.
And I'm a
Yeah.
New Yorker too.
And I'm
Oh,
a
nice.
New Yorker
Staten
too.
Island.
That's
I
what's
didn't
up.
know
She's
Long
a New
Island.
Yorker too.
New York,
She's from where? Queens?
Long Island.
Oh, Long
Long
Island. See,
Island.
they think Long Island is, you know, in these places, Rochester's New York, but I'm from Staten Island. You know how they say that, right? Then they say that one too, right? You have to be from Manhattan to claim New York, okay? But it's all good.
Yeah.
Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Oh,
So
and
we're
Thank
going to
you.
play
Thanks for having
your music shortly because I know you was at the Stratmore, right? Is that the one?
Yep.
So let's hear that a little bit. Can we do that to the right end? And thank you.
One, two, three, and we're up in here to party. We're up in here to start this. We're here and we are gonna let it roll. We need a revolution to take this even higher. Tonight's the night we're gonna lose control. We're here and we are gonna let it roll. Tonight's the night we're gonna lose control. Vamos a bailar. I wanna love you, babe, and I see that you're so shy and lonely. Let's have a drink or two. Let's lighten up the mood. Yeah, I know you wanna dance with me, babe. Don't you see that I'm here waiting for you all night, girl? You see the night is young. Let's do this. Don't you go without dancing with me, my baby girl. 'Cause I wanna give you all of my love. We're up in here to party. We're up in here to start this. We're here and we are gonna let it roll. We need a revolution to take this even higher. Tonight's the night we're gonna lose control. We're here and we are gonna let it roll. Tonight's the night we're gonna lose control. You know I know that it's going all night long. Yeah, baby, baby girl. Yeah, I wanna get you in the dark. 1, 2, I get to you. 3, 4, let's dance some more. After that, I wanna take you home with me. And I'm getting closer to you. Cause I here to party. We're up in here to start this. We're here and we don't care who's here or who's watching. We need a revolution to take this even higher. So vamos, mi amor, we're gonna celebrate and party. Can't you see? Christian Perez on guitar. Simon Barron on accordion. Elliot Sepp on bass. Joey Antico on drums. We're up in here to party. We're up in here to start this. We're here and we are gonna let it roll. We need a revolution to take this even higher. Tonight we're gonna lose control. We're here and we are gonna let it roll. Tonight we're gonna lose control.
Wow, now that was Chris. Chris is awesome. My goodness, amazing. We're gonna have him back. He's gonna come back in, do his little piece, and he's actually gonna be live in the studio. So we want to give a shout out, and hopefully we'll have him back in next week if we're lucky. But anyway, we have a whole new set here. My other co-host is back, and I'm gonna have him introduce. He is the star and everything, and he's doing little Ethiopian. He's doing all these excellent activities all around the DC area. So we want to give a shout out to Tamara.
Well, thank you, and I'm very glad to come back again on your show.
Yes, you're the co-host. You have to come back.
Yeah, I have two
them your
guests.
But we're gonna go back to you one more time. Tell them your full name.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you may
My
have
name
a
is
new-
Tamrad Maden. I'm the publisher of a magazine called Little Ethiopia. I have two distinguished speakers today here who will be speaking about events that happened last month and on March 1. As you all know, that last month there was a celebration of the Black History Month. We in Little Ethiopia used it in two ways. One, we also used 3 days of the month from February 19 to 21 to remember those over 31,000 Ethiopians who were killed by an Italian fascist general in 1937 in a span of 3 days. And then we had two other celebration of the Black History Month, one in February 3 in Maryland, and the second one in Washington, D.C. at the Fraser Mansion. We had an amazing speaker who's sitting next to me here.
Yes, yes.
and also I have another gentleman here sitting next to you. I'll give you a brief statement about who they are. First, I will start with the Honorable Harry Jones, who was the former curator of the African American Civil War Museum, and now he's a director of the board of member of the National Museum of the Civil War Museum of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He is a military historian. He is amazingly knowledgeable about the facts that has happened in Ethiopia at the time when the Civil War happened in the United States. At that time, there was in Ethiopia an emperor known as Tewodros, who showed great courage when he was surrounded by a British military power. Rather than surrendering, he committed suicide and made a great, great impact in Africa. So I'll first give him the microphone to speak, and then I'll bring her the other speaker.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, sir.
Wow, wow.
Harry.
You had a mouthful for that. It's wonderful. Welcome.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. It's always a pleasure to speak of the history of persons of African descent, whether on the continent or in the diaspora. And the importance of Ethiopia in this narrative, we cannot overstate. One of the most neglected areas in American history is really an understanding of the erudite Africans who were brought here to America as captives. And with many of these people, many of them Fulani or Hausa, they would never call another man their master. Right. They would use the term massa, capital M-A-S-A-R, and it means captor. And one of the most distinguished of these individuals was Prince Abdul Rahman Ibrahim Abin Sori, also a colonel. So you have a military officer that's captured in 1788 and brought here to the United States. He was manumitted on order of the President of the United States, John Quincy Adams, in 1828. He meets with Adams in the White House in April of 1828. Then after that, he goes on a speaking tour. Wow. So we have this erudite, college-educated African. He graduated from Sankore University at Timbuktu in 1781. So you have this erudite African on a speaking tour in the 1828. His escort is David Walker. David Walker, after escorting him, publishes a book called The Appeal to Colored Citizens of the World, especially those in the United States. And one of the most important statements that David Walker makes is he informs you that we're not getting our Christianity from the Europeans. And he goes on to say, we worship the God of the Ethiopians, which is this understanding that was a part of African history, that Christianity and history dated back to the Aksumite Empire and antiquity. So Africans coming over here just weren't informed on Christianity because the Europeans captured them. That's what we usually get in the narrative in our finest universities. Right. But that is not the story of the African Christian. Right. The African Christian story begins in antiquity. So as Greece and Rome is growing up in Christianity, so is Africa, the Aksumites, and the Ethiopians, the Abyssinians. So this is a very important part of American history because we had Americans of African descent who understood this history. But because it wasn't generally understood, they were also part of what is functionally a secret society, African knowledge circles. And within these African knowledge circles is where we really get our leadership as we come into the Civil War. And one of the emphasis as we come into the Civil War was the importance, and you get this in the Anglo-African magazine, a magazine out of New York City, where they say that what we need also outside of the United States is a nation, an African nation, led by persons of African descent that can stand up and be relevant. Right. Well, at the time, in the magazine, they said that they were hoping this would be either Haiti or Liberia. However, what they get is Ethiopia under, I'm going to use the English translation, King Theodore II. And he becomes very relevant and becomes a part of British focus. And the British focus is not on supporting the Confederacy, but actually is in dealing with trying to create an alternative to Southern cotton. And Ethiopia becomes a major player during this time. So then we get Ethiopian history becoming important, or activities in Ethiopia becoming important. And after the Civil War was won, I want to comment that one of the difficulties in telling this story is that most Americans learn that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, when in fact what Abraham Lincoln did was make it legal. Actually, Congress does, and then he gives the executive order, the Emancipation Proclamation, makes it legal for persons of African descent to free themselves. Right. So they do it. They do it. And this is military activity in which they accomplish this objective. And between the Civil War and the end of the Civil War and the turn of the century, there is this attempt by Europeans to colonize all of Africa. And when you read many of the African Americans doing this, they're concerned about this, the empire building in Africa. And we get Ethiopia, March 1st, 1896. King Menelik II, in his military maneuvers, his brilliant strategies with the Italians that initially thought was a sign of weakness, where he waited. He waited until he had all the equipment necessary. And so he had as many cannons as the Italians had cannons. And so when he goes into the battle, he defeats them mainly because of his strategy. This is the strategy. He has more men, but he was able to get more men, bring more men into that battle because of his strategy. And this is important to all of Africa, because now this plan to slice up Africa and make it a huge colony to Europeans failed because of the victory at the Battle of Adwa, March 1st, 1896. Now, this is a couple of months before Plessy versus Ferguson, and segregation becomes like the way of life here in the United States. Right. But I want you to appreciate those who understood world history and what had happened in Ethiopia, even with the devastating attacks they're getting from political entities here in the United States. There are many of them holding their heads up high because of the victory at the Battle of Adwa, March 1st, 1896.
Wow. So much
amazing. I'd like to point one thing here. He just mentioned that there was a plan to carve the whole of Africa. Actually, a meeting was held in 1884, 85. It started around November, ended up in February, called the Berlin Conference, where 15 European countries, including the United States, made a decision that they will completely colonize Africa. And with the grace of God, our Emperor Menelik II and his wife, who actually both of them entered combat, were successful.
I think it's important that he mentioned this too, that he says, and his wife. She's actually a military leader. She's just not there as a spectator.
Right.
She enters combat. And that's also, I'm going to relate that back to the Civil War. When we talk about the Civil War, often we talk about the men. But when we speak of Harriet Tubman, I want you to know that she's a scout, guide, and spy who's professionally trained. She's a military leader. Marianne Shadd Cary is also kind of more of an administrative military leader, but we have women who are military leaders. Yes. And this is an important part of telling this story, because this concept of male chauvinism might be more of something we inherit from somebody else than is a part of our natural history.
Yes, I totally agree. Yeah.
Well, to add to that one, it's not only our emperor and empresses are only military leaders, they are also amazing diplomats. In 1919, the daughter of Menelik II sent the first diplomatic mission to the United States. And I mean, people were amazed to see an African nation being treated differently in Washington, D.C., around the White House, on those areas. So there is a great work together made by both the father and the daughter. Kindly, can you show some of the picture about the wreath laying ceremonies, please?
Yes,
so that we can talk a little bit. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This is the first picture you see is the second wreath laying ceremony we started in 2011. The first one was in 2007, where Prince Hermes Haile Selassie was invited to place a wreath in front of the African American Civil War for the Ethiopian millennium. This one is in 2013. This is the fourth wreath laying ceremony, where the chairman of the Ethiopian Genocide Committee, Dr. Wasson, and Miss
it's a low,
both presented the wreath. This was specially planned in such a way that because in 2012, in August 2012, there has been a memorial, a statue was built for the Graziani, the General Radolf Graziani, who was the mastermind or who ordered the massacre of over 30,000 Ethiopians.
Wow.
So we had that. We selected him to present the wreath to remind the Italian government and the others who are supporting the coming up new fascism, some fascism in Italy. So we are still fighting on that. Nothing has been done so far, but we'll let you know what we'll be doing in the future.
Oh, right. Wonderful.
There are some more pictures. Do you have some more of the pictures?
Do we have any more?
You don't have any more? Okay, no problem. We'll do it next time, okay?
Yes.
Before I proceed on that one, I wanted to ask a quick question to Harris. You have read and spoken on several occasions in many other places. You're also involved in some documentaries. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And also, have you, I know that at that time it was difficult for African Americans and Ethiopians or any other black people to communicate, but the time is changing now. There is that communication. I know we talk about history, about what we did in the greatness, but what can we do together in the future to change the life of African Americans, Ethiopian, and the other, basing on what we have done in the past?
Now, I've had the good fortune of being on a number of documentaries, to include the African Americans, Many Rivers to Cross with Henry Louis Gates. And in telling this history, one of the biggest challenges is that not only has there been a lack of communication, but there's been some misinformation out there on who the Africans were. One of the most important things that is different from what African Americans in African knowledge circles, like a Martin Delany in 1862 and today, is that today we have a general understanding among our well-educated that scholarship and the written text comes from the Tigris and Euphrates, and somehow it's not connected to Africa. Whereas that's not what would have been taught in the African schools in the mid 19th century. It would have been taught that the written language is coming from the mountains of Ethiopia and Gez. So in a book published by Martin Delany in 1879, he actually has the characters of Gez, showing that there is a written tradition that's African, and that we come from an erudite tradition that is not only an oral tradition, but also a literary tradition. And today, one of the difficulties is studying this language in this text. Right now, if you want to go anywhere in the world, you actually don't go to Ethiopia to study Gez. You would actually go to Germany. And their medical schools, because many of the texts written in Gez, there's a great deal of medical details about what herbs should be used for what. And so you have this rich tradition that really needs to come to America. Here in the United States, we need to know what our ancestors knew 200 years ago, which is that the origin of civilization is Ethiopia. And if we want to understand ourselves, we need to understand it from our origins.
Thank you so much. Well, I hope you're going to be in town in the future. I have to bring you another time because of time. So I'm going to thank you so much. Okay. The other speaker next to me is the award-winning Gemedra Akins from the Royal Protege. She's a vice president of Sacred International Group and the others. She will give us a little about herself. She made an amazing speech last Tuesday when we had the 12th anniversary Ethio-American Heritage and Unity in celebration of the Black History Month. I mean, she connected the facts that she connected the celebration with the remembrance. So I'm gonna give it to her to speak on that.
Wow, thank you. I know I could listen to Harry all day. I think I learned more in an hour.
I can too.
An hour talking with him than.
Oh, speaking.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I know I learned last time I saw Harry. I think I learned more in an hour talking with him than I probably did in a month in class. One thing that I think is extremely.
Okay.
Which speech was we lost hers or Harry's?
We lost about like a minute.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Okay, we'll continue. Harry, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions in relation to the Civil War, the involvement of the African Americans. I think most of them are led by what is the highest position an African American had at the Civil War?
I'm going to not. I am not going to count the those who were passing. Right. So those who are known to be African Americans, the highest position is Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Augusta, and then Major Martin Delaney and Major Francis Ernest Dumas. These were the three highest-ranking African Americans during the Civil War.
Wow.
Okay, good. Thank you. Is there any kind of memorial done for them, or are they being recognized?
Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Augusta is rarely recognized, even though he became head of Freedman's Hospital here in Washington, D.C. He's rarely recognized. In fact, many historians, like at Howard University, actually say he doesn't exist, meaning that they say there were no African-American officers. So we have real obstacles in front of us because we still have African-American scholars who are not admitting these men of record who are leaders during the Civil War and after.
Wow.
Oh, good. Thank you. You have any question for him?
No, you answered. I mean, he has so much information. We're going to just have to bring you back. You need a whole hour. Are you
I
kidding
think we have to bring him, yeah.
You have to come back again because you have so much information and we want to share it. And also yourself, she has a lot of information. I hope that we were able to capture and didn't lose all of it because we definitely want to go back to it for sure. So I think we have a few more minutes. Do you have a question? If they want to find you, I guess, can we say?
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook as Royal Proteges. One of the things that I do is train youth on finance, success, and leadership. And to have that success mindset, to understand not just financial literacy, but money IQ. How do you put that money together or those terms together in a way that really benefits you and your community? And then that mindset. We are conditioned so much to think less of ourselves and our capabilities. And so Royal Proteges on Facebook, Twitter.
Wonderful. Well, wow, you have a...
And she's a vice president.
And she's a what?
The vice president.
The vice president of?
Sacred International Sisters.
Love it.
And she is also an award-winning
Toastmasters. Renaissance Speakers DC.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we have some celebs up in here.
Where I belong to.
Yes, of course. Okay, well, we're going to thank all of you for coming on because we only have one more second. And I don't know, but I wanted to show these real pictures. Do we have time to show that last set that I just mentioned real quick? I know we're changing course for a minute. No, I have them on the drive. Yeah. Say ELG. Yes. If we can.
And another question, a quick question I'd like to ask Harry. Harry, we have been, for the last 10 times, we have wreath-laying ceremony at the African American Civil War Memorial. Are there other Civil War memorials around these areas where we can, share what we are doing?
1 second. Yes,
not necessarily Civil War Memorial. We would say the Lincoln Memorial. I would not recommend anyone go to Emancipation Park in Northeast DC because of the nature of that statue.
Right.
So do we find that folder yet? Yeah. Yes. We're going to just real quickly, we want to thank all of you for coming onto the show today. I want to show some pictures because I was actually at someplace else, and I don't want to forget to share it because out of time. But just want to let you know we're going to give a shout out to Eastern Lights Getaways. Eastern Lights Getaways, as you can see, I was in the house. They hold various events all over the East. Yes, that's exactly right. We have BBD, Bev and DeVoe and SWV 112, right, Denise? You're not in the house to help me with this one, right? And 112. And I was in the house. I'm the photographer for Eastern Lights Getaways. They hold these big events. 5,000 people was in the house. I was in the house. Denise was in the house. As you can clearly see, I'm in the house. Wow. I mean, always representing. You have to go to the Eastern Lights Getaways official Facebook page to find all the photos. Look at Denise. She's holding it down, so I'm going to give a shout out to Denise, too. She's in the house. She's always helping me because I'm running with my hair chopped off when I'm actually working this major event. And I just got back in town from Pennsylvania, but they have another event coming up, so I just want to give a shout out to all who participated in the Eastern Lights Getaways event yesterday. It was massive. 5,000 audience. The show was super, super fabulous. Videos, shout outs, everything is going to be in the house. So stay tuned for photos, Eastern Lights Getaways official page. But in the meantime, they have another show coming up who is going to be, I think, is Kim and a couple of other, Kim, right? Gladys Knights. And who else? and Frankie Beverly May. So that's going to be up in Atlantic City. So if you want tickets, inbox me. That's Mother's Day's weekend because Eastern Lights got it going on. But I want to thank everybody from coming out today. I hope you enjoyed the show. And I definitely want to say.
Yeah, you can find us on littleethiopia.org. That's our magazine, littleethiopia.org for more information.
That is his magazine, and he's doing a fabulous job. But you can find me at Patricia McDougal, celebrity photographer on Facebook, and also patriciamcdougalphotos.net.com. So for all the pictures I showed earlier, if you want to find all the rest of the pictures, because we showed a lot of pictures today. So thank you so much for joining in today. We appreciate it. We enjoyed it. We're going to have you both come back because we have a lot. You have so much information, so thank you so much. Patricia McDougal, celebrity photographer in the house. And Tamara, of course. Thank you so much. Yes.